We want to welcome you to the opening of the Storyteller's Lodge of 7 Days of Rest. It's going to be a fascinating week, and we're going to kick it off today as best we can. Before we do that, before we even introduce ourselves and get going, we're going to sit a minute and we're going to just focus in. What I want to do is I want us to start getting out of the head and into the heart. Out of the head, into the heart. This is going to be heart work all week. I'm smudging, as you can see. I've got some nice white sage going on. So I'm smudging all of you. So wherever you are, smell this smudge. It's for you and for me. So everybody just relax. Just relax. Let your body and your mind especially slow down. You can close your eyes or leave your eyes open, whatever you feel is best. All right, I see a couple of you are still doing something else. Put it down. There you go. Thank you. Everybody, relax. Relax. And I want you to try to slow your mind. Everybody knows there's a lot going on right now. We're here to work on some of that. So slow your mind down. Tell it to take a little break. Give it a cup of coffee and the newspaper. Have it go sit in the corner. Have fun with it. Good. Now go into your heart. Ask your heart to get large. Ask your heart to come to the surface. Feel what we're doing. Feel it. All week we have incredible speakers. Women, men, young people, old people. Start to get ready for that. They're ready for you. Good. Now I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Stay in that heart as best you can. If you go up into the head, that's okay, but then go back out again. Slide down into the heart. Good. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Way into the heart. Hmm. Great Spirit, God, Wakatanka, Allah, Buddha, Universe. We're here this morning to open up the Storyteller's Lodge. We're going to turn it over to our wonderful friends, Shelley and Chief Charles, in a moment. Please give us the energy and the skill to open this in a good way. Know that we're here not for ourselves, but to help the whole sacred hoop heal wherever it's broken. We are part of the hoop. We are here for the hoop. Help us stay in our hearts. Help us feel love and light and positive energy. And spread it around the globe as we do this work, because this work is about the globe. Mitakwiyase, all my relations. So when you want, oh, you can start zoning back. As we do this, I would suggest all of us, as best you can, stay in your heart. You don't have to think too much to do this. We all know what we're doing here. Actually, in my Aboriginal friends' teachings, we've already done it in dreams. Now we're just acting it out. So let's act it out in a good way, in a positive way. For those of you who listen to this as a recording later, we welcome you as well. You're just as powerfully connected listening to this later as we are here this morning. And so feel it. Go look at what we have to offer in this group and in others. 7 Days of Rest has an incredible array of opportunities. You don't have to just be here, and join in. Good, good, good. The four of us are all nicely in the heart. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, so we're going to begin. I'm going to start with a thank you to Tanya, who has set up all the recording capabilities of this, because we would not be here otherwise. Trust me, those who know me know that I sure as heck wouldn't have us here. And Jan and Shelley are involved with 10 million other things. They wouldn't have had the time to do it either. And I thank Veronica. Both of them are stewards with me. Veronica has done some incredible artwork, so we could share this around. As you see it, folks, share it around for us. And my brother, Chief Charles, Chief Twodog of United Western Lenape out of Kentucky. Charles is always there when we ask him to be. He's got a huge heart. He's an incredible chief for our tribe. And I thank him for being here today as well. And Maya, our fourth steward, we thank her for all her work. She picked up and went to Sedona so she could gather in some of that energy and talk to some folks there. So everyone's doing their pieces. It's great. We're going to kick in. We're going to ask Shelley first to come in and open by, I think, telling us why do we have World Water Event? Why do we have the World Water Law? Why are we all here? Shelley, that's a nice broad opening, but she's the best one ever to talk about this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to 7 Days of Rest and Radical Healing, and to the first opening session of the Storyteller's Lodge, which is orchestrated, curated by these four incredible stewards. The 7 Days of Rest and Radical Healing, this is the fourth annual event. The first one was in 2018, January 1st, 2018. And this is the fourth one. So if we work with the chakra energy, we're really moving from the base, and we are now, this is the heart, this is the fourth year. So with this heart energy that you so briefly opened with, Jim, I really want to welcome everybody into this space as a field where we can come together and create the consciousness that we need at this moment. I want to also welcome you in the name of my partner and co-steward of the event, co-host of the larger event, Jan Golding, who is busy working very hard to make it all happen while I'm here. And we really are grateful, incredibly grateful for all the people who are joining from all over the world. The gifts that are coming in to the 7 days of rest and radical healing are extraordinary from all around the world. To come together at this point as a real turning point for humanity, this January the 1st, 2021, to make this into the turning point that we so critically need right now, and which is waiting for us to pick it up and to take this extraordinary energy into action. So over the last years, ever since I had the first vision for the 7 days of rest, I've been going deeper and deeper into understanding what we need. What do we need right now? What is really being called for? There's so much wisdom in the field. There's so much solutions in the field. There's so many extraordinary people in the field. How do we gather together to bring our wisdom in a creative and an effective way for radical whole system healing? So this year, actually last year I can say now, last year with COVID, I had a vision that the one thing that can bring us together, that can unify us, that can really bring the medicine of our time is water. And it was as if water was showing me the way, asking me to listen and follow. And that what she was showing me was that there is a potential now in the field that we recognize just how off kilter we've been, just how damaging we have been to the planet, that we can, from this fragmentation, from this devastation, from this splitting, from this conflict, learn about our interconnectedness, learn about the power of water to heal, and to move beyond those very superficial identities that we cling to, of race, religion, all of these things, to understand that we are water in a watery field, in a watery planet, in a watery cosmos. And that as we connect deeper and deeper to water, we begin to learn that we all need water to survive. We all need water. We all need water. We're all birthed from water. We use water all the time. Water is in us. Water is our consciousness. Water is our body. Water is everywhere. And I became more and more aware of just how limited my consciousness was about water. And as I went deeper and deeper, she showed the way and showed the idea of initiating a world water law for all humanity to come together at this point, to go back to the original laws of nature, which is the original law of water, which is that all humans, all animals, all parts of life have guaranteed access to this pristine, life-enhancing consciousness. And without that, we cannot survive, and we will continue the splitting process. So it became very clear that as we initiated the World Water Law, and then World Water Year 2021 is a year of coming together to make the World Water Law happen, that the 7 days of rest and radical healing was the perfect launching space, the sacred space to launch World Water Year, with prayer from all over the world, with gathering all the water protectors, all the life protectors, bringing our healing wisdom together, and to move ahead with this deep commitment to an uncompromising restoration of our sacred relationship with water. And I think one of the most important pieces that I have understood is that, water is so intimate to us. We kind of take it for granted. It's the most intimate part. And cheers. And yet, this source of life, we kind of take for granted. Those of us who have the luxury of water. And yet when we see so many around the world who don't have, they begin to understand just how precious water is. So the invitation in this event is to come together and learn from the extraordinary wisdom keepers who have been holding this knowledge. I'm new to it. I'm new to really listening to water. But there are so many people here who've been holding this knowledge and praying for water. And they're gathering together here, beautiful people in the Storytellers Lodge and in other events, to remind us and to sing our songs of water, for water, for our collective healing. So I really want to bless also this amazing space that Jim and the team have put together, the Storytellers Lodge, as a space of gathering wisdom, gathering stories, because the wisdom doesn't lie in any one person. And I think the beauty of what the Storytellers Lodge is creating is an ability to listen to the diverse stories and then to make meaning of the diversity, how they all come together to see the bigger whole. And sometimes my sense is that in our previous paradigm, we've been locked into one perspective, one monolithic perspective. And here we're really going back to that original law of water, which understands the integrity of life that allows for the evolution of radiant harmony in radiant diversity. When we look at every snowflake is different, and yet it is not. And yet water is also, a fluid wholeness, undifferentiated wholeness, and it's not either or, it's both and. And this original structure of water is just this structure of water that knows how to move between dimensions, from the most exquisite crystalline structures to the ocean, to the ether, where we to invisible spaces as well. This to me is such an inspiration, and today is dedicated to when I asked water what she wanted to teach us during this event and how she wanted us to really move forward in the event. She, after much meditation, she offered 7 water codes that if we go into a meditative state of inquiry with water, asking water to reveal to us her codes of wisdom, we would learn an enormous amount about our healing pathway forward. So today, first day, is dedicated to integrity. And the watery wisdom of integrity, as I listen into it, is extraordinary, because it's sometimes we tend to think very narrowly about integrity, like something like, it's the integrity of body. But water has the codes of integrity, the codes of right relationship between all parts of the whole, so that the drop of water relates to the ocean of water. They have the same code, and those codes are always in their pristine state when uninterfered with, in service of the whole. And so I think in terms of integrity, it's really about talking to water and asking what she has to show, because everything that I say is only a limited piece of what I receive. There's so much wisdom in water. Tells the truth. You give her grace, she gives you grace. You give her contamination, we get illness. There's truth in that. And so this is really about realigning with that pristine nature where form and essence are one. And I want to, of course, end this piece by saying thank you, water. Bless you, water. And I bless everybody in the field to receive all they need right now to be able to move forward in a loving, creative, hopeful, uncompromising way for the good of the whole, as water knows how to do. Learning that code of integrity, which is the right relationship, that right mutually nourishing relationship of all parts to the good of the whole. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. As you were speaking that, you talked about the snowflakes all being separate. I remember saying that one time and talking with a Maori friend down in New Zealand, and he just kind of smiled and chuckled, and he said, do you realize, and we had just done a water blessing, he said, do you realize each drop of water is also different? It's different in size, it's different in shape, it's different in chemical composition. So whether it's frozen or flowing, all separate. So every drop of water in us is different as well. Beautiful. So maybe we are truly all one, because that water is common to each of us. Thanks, Shelley. That was great. Mm-hmm. This will be an incredible week. I keep sensing it. And the people who have been showing up are just amazing. So we'll just keep going ahead with it. Is there anything anybody else would like to ask Shelley to put in before we move on? She covered a lot.
I'll just say one more thing, because you mentioned the drop of water.
Yeah.
The other day, the sentence came to me: imagine into the life cycle of one drop of water. And you get a sense, you go back right to the beginning of time, and you understand what water has been through, what that drop of water, that intelligence of that one drop of water that holds memory and connects to the memory of the whole. Imagine into that. That really inspires me deeply.
Yeah, me too. That's a great point. And again, I tend to do, maybe because I'm tired, but I get these goofy images sometimes. So as we're talking about this, anybody who remembers the movie Men in Black, and they open up the locker, and there's a whole planet of people within there. So it's planets on planets on. That's what I see water. Each drop of water is its own universe, and it invites us to be part of each of those universes.
Mhm.
So, wow, we really are everywhere, I guess, for good or bad. Thank you, Shelley.
Mhm.
That was a great start and a great kickoff to the week. Thank you and Jan for all you've done and all you are doing. I know I can. One more little question for you, if I may. This is the beginning of a year of this work. And we started to realize this week as we were scheduling all these things, it doesn't all have to be in week one. You know, we've got a lot of weeks to come. How do you see the following year folding out?
Mm. Well, as a wonderful mystery which we co-discover and co-create, I think what I'm seeing is that this week sets the tone, it sets the foundation of consciousness, the field of prayer, that field of connectivity, that accurate foundation of integrity from which we then move into action. And then, you know, as we all hold the potential, and I'm really inviting everybody to hold the potential in their hearts and in their visions of this happening over the year in a massive, like a global tsunami of activation of water lovers coming together to say, let's find a way to make this happen. This can create this exponential, radical healing. It activates a whole system healing response when all of these water people emerge from all over the planet saying this one thing: yes, we are going to restore right relationship with water, and it comes from everywhere simultaneously. So the invitation to everybody, everywhere, is to learn about water and to join the movement, which is happening already. It's already kind of inspiring people to come together and do it. And there will be supportive ways of helping people organize and so it really depends on the creativity, resources, ideas that everybody brings to the field, and we will do our best to serve that process. There will be coordinated technologies and infrastructures for doing it, and the idea is that after this week of deep prayer and listening and learning the water stories and going back and, you know, having this wonderful also archive of deep inspiration from all over the world, we then move forward and discover together. I didn't know how 7 days of rest and radical healing would turn out at all. We offered the container, the vision, and the amount of creativity that's come from the field is extraordinary. So my sense is that what has come already at the beginning of the year, that water has called all of these people together from all over. I imagine we can do something extraordinary. Water will do it through us if we just allow ourselves to be clear vessels for water. So let's just ask water, you know, how do I serve? What do you want from me?
Excellent. That's great. I just want to say, I'm getting all kinds of messages here. I apologize. I'm trying to ignore them. We do have some friends on Pine Ridge Reservation listening in through the phone. Charles, you'll know them. It's Frank and some of the folks up there. They're also up early to hear this. And so one thing they've already sent me is that I haven't said anything about unity, and they're asking me to bring unity into this. So unity. Unity is what we need. And Shelley was talking about that. It was in amongst her words. We absolutely have to unite now. We have to bring this together. We have to be one. We have to stand up as one. Men and women together. You'll hear more about that in some of the programs. Old and young together. Black, white, red, yellow. None of that can matter anymore. In talking to Chief Phil Lane the other day, Chief Phil mentioned how we were so on the brink, and we have a video of this we'll put up. We were so on the brink as a species, we could have just stepped off, which the prophecies tell us. And then COVID came, which is a horrible illness, and it's taking a horrible toll. but it made us come together in many ways. And so we need to take advantage of all things right now to bring us together. And Frank and you and the people on Pine Ridge, you're absolutely right. And thank you for that. And continue to tell me when I forget what I'm supposed to be saying. Okay. I think with that, we're going to step over now to Chief Charles Twodog of the United Western Lenape. He's out of Kentucky. Charles and I have walked together a long, long time. We didn't know it until a couple of years ago, but we've had a long walk together. Charles is an incredible person. He really, really cares. He's going to do the opening prayer. He signed for our nation the first climate change emergency proclamation in the Americas. That's no small feat. And then another friend, Chief Dana, up in northern Canada, for the Crow, Old Crow, signed one shortly after. And then it started to spread. These are the kinds of things to me that bring energy into what we're doing. And whether it's climate change or water or civil rights or human rights, it's all the same thing right now. Water is leading the way because that's what can connect us all. That's what flows through us, around us, over us, and under us. So with that, Charles, who's also my co-host on a radio show, I bring it in to you to say what you feel and help connect us with a strong opening prayer.
Well, brother, I hope you hear me all right because I've been having a little trouble internet-wise. But to Frank, is unity is the main thing, and one of the things that I have been talking about as well is for the black, the white, the yellow, the red of the sacred four directions. We all come together because it's not about race, creed, or color of the individual. We're all human beings and we're related to each other. So you're all my grandmothers, my grandfathers, my sons, my daughters, my cousins. We're all the human beings, so we're all related here. And as far as the water goes, if you think about it, you talked about what we did with the climate change proclamation and stuff like that. The situation is when you drop that little pebble into the water, it starts making ripples. So them ripples go out and it brings a lot together in the ways of that manner as well. So I'm going to do this little prayer I did this morning. So forgive me if it goes wrong. Forgive me. It's an early morning for me. Anyway, Wakantanka Tankashila, Gichimanitu, Buddha, all the names that people call you around the world, hear me. I am weak. I send this weak voice to you. Grandfather, we wish to say that we're grateful, Wopila, for the days that you have gave us and the days that you're going to give us. We're grateful for the past and the old ones who spoke so wise. Grandfather, we're grateful for Makaina, the Earth Mother, that we walk on. We're grateful in the people that we have met in this journey and the more that we're going to meet in this journey. And that no matter where you're from, when I see you, I see a relative. We're related to everything that flies, walks, and crawls on this earth. And as the earth goes, so goes life. All life. Grandfather, I thank you for these times. I thank you for the strength of the women, the life givers, because without them, there would be no me and no nothing. I thank you for the strength of the men who stand with the women that work together for the benefit of the whole. I thank you for the love that is coming to all of us at this moment. I open the Chante, open the Chante, my heart, and may we walk one hand, one heart, one spirit. It will be good. When we step back, we take one step back, we will take 2 steps up. There's no turning back. Grandfather, I give my life. I give my love. And I walk with that. Aho matakoate.
Thanks, Chief. Okay, everybody, spend a moment again. Check back in with your heart. Again, ask your brain to step back and let the heart lead and brain follow. Just sink on into that space. Feel Shelley's words, feel Charles's words. They are setting the tone for this whole week. Yes, we'll have other ceremonies. Yes, we'll have other prayers. But this is the first one. This is kicking it off. So the more we can get connected in right now, the better it's going to be for the week. And we've got a responsibility here, including our friend Frank, who has 7 people with him up in Pine Ridge. We are setting the energy for the week by being here this morning. That's a nice gift. Thank you all for being part of that. Well, we have covered opening thoughts. We have covered the prayer. What else do we want to put in here? We have time if anybody has anything they want to put in. Or are we complete?
I think I would like to put in a little prayer, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So first of all, I just want to share that my prayer is really to serve in the 7 days and beyond the fullest possible healing of the planet. And I'd like to invite everybody at this moment to join me in really bringing that thriving future into the now, in our hearts, in our minds, in our selves. So if you would join me for a moment in just closing your eyes and taking a few moments to be in silence, because silence is one of the most important pieces of our movement forward, and the expansion into space out of the busyness, which is really all about 7 days of rest and radical healing, rest being the most foundational space. So I'm just going to invite us to be a few moments in silence, and then I'll offer a little guided meditation. And really expanding into the spaciousness of silence, where all possibilities are available once again. The space of restfulness, that primordial restfulness between the breaths. That primordial restfulness that aligns with the heartbeat of Mother Earth when she is rested. And blessing the essence of rest, where we recover that sense of integrity, that sense of our rightful place. In rightful, vitalizing, mutually nourishing relationship with the whole. And we ask water to reveal to us her primordial wisdom, code of integrity, the code of right relationship. With the most vitalizing manifestation of all parts in their fullest service of the whole, for life, for future generations. And letting go of all the habits and the addictions, as if you're washed clean of that which no longer serves, sensing into that pristine essence of water, clear, nourishing, medicine, fertile, gentle, powerful, intelligent, living consciousness. And feeling the connection to that water, that pristine water that holds the structure of the source code of life. In every cell of your body, there's a memory of it. In every drop of water, there's a memory of it. And we ask that code to be activated in us so that we can walk with integrity. Integrity of our role in serving the good of the whole. In being nourished by the good of the whole. In this spiral of mutual nourishment of life, evolving in radiant harmony and diversity. And as we embark on World Water Year 2021, a year of radical healing, of remembering ourselves as water, each other as water, all expressions of the same source. We invite into the now that vision of the future, that experience of the future, that knowing of the future in the now, where we go, where the original law of water is returned, so that all humans, all animals, all of life has guaranteed access to natural, pristine, uncontaminated water. And the water flows in balance, in harmony. As she knows how to do, as is her birthright, as is her gift to all. And we ask water to teach us how to honor her, how to love her, how to please her, how to nourish her, how to protect her. How to revere her. We ask to move beyond our current understanding or thoughts about water and meet her anew, commune with her, so that she may feel our love, our curiosity, our devotion, our dedication to learning how to honor her, and show us the way, personally, collectively as a species, so that we can, as a species, evolve into a healthy species in discovering our interconnectedness as water and our potential as water to thrive in loving relationship with all other forms of water. Always in service of the good of the whole, always in service of future generations. And we see the world that we want in our mind's eye, the world where water is honored. We remember who we are, and we bring all our distilled wisdom from this time of great complexity and trial. We bring this distilled wisdom like distilled water to serving water so that she may serve all of life in the way that she does, in the way that is her nature, infinitely generous, and also in her uncompromising ways of not tolerating anything that is not with that pristine structure. That which goes against life. And so we feel and see in our hearts and our minds water thriving with the trees, with the animals, with all of life, the creepy crawlies and the birds and the microorganisms that do so much for our being on the planet. We thank all of life, and we thank water for bringing this to us. This experience of being alive, being a creative force with her. And we ask to learn to flow like she does, with integrity. Always in our movement, connected to the codes of right relationship that she teaches us. Thank you, water. We love you, water. We honor you, water. Help us remember how to honor you, how to love you.
Thank you, Shelley. That was perfect. And for everyone who's here and or listening, thank you for being here early. We just felt this needed to start early, and that's a good thing. Get it kicked off. Keep this in your heart as we go through the week. Once again, check out the offerings on the website. There are a million things to listen to and see. We have a lot of great ones, I think, in the Storytellers Lodge, but there's other opportunities as well. So join wherever you feel most moved to join. And remember, we're here for the water, pulling out of some of the things Charles said and Shelley said. We're here for the water. We're here for the future generations. In my training, it's thinking about 7 generations forward. And we want to create a much better legacy for those 7 generations. When that time comes, we'll be long gone when they're here and taking their turn. But we want them to look back and say thank you and not look back and damn us. So let's keep coming together so we build that love and that energy. So when the time comes, they will look back and say, thank you, ancestors. Thank you for all you did to shift things in. We're going to leave in a moment because our media magic person, Tanya, needs to take us offline so she can then bring us back online in a few minutes. We have Chief Stephen Fritz out of South Africa coming on at 10 o'clock Eastern time to do a little bit of a ceremony of his people and then to follow up with a story of his own. So we welcome you back if you have time. If not, we'll see you through the week. We will be here. Love and peace and good flow to everybody.